Before we jump into what will happen at the beginning of the year, I want us to talk about what has happened. Let's not, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. Is that the thing?
Wise.
That's the thing.
Very wise.
And so I learned something from history class, thank you. But let's not forget what has happened and maybe take something out of that can help as we look to the conference schedule now. So, Kyle, walk me through this non-conference schedule that the Shockers just had. They played some important games, some non-important games. There was some ups and downs. Walk me through what you think for a record that 10-2. They won 10 out of 12 games. Let's do this first. Best win, worst loss out of these two. Out of these games, this non-conference schedule.
I'd say the best win would have to be at Baylor.
Yeah.
Baylor was ranked at the time. I think they're still ranked.
Yeah, they're still ranked.
They're a phenomenal team, and the Shockers went into Waco and really played well start to finish. I think it was their best game, complete game so far in the non-conference.
It was on the road.
It was on the road,
which was key. And somebody, was it Shaq, I think? Somebody went into the stands and knocked over Chip Gaines, which I enjoyed that as well from Fixer Upper. My wife, she enjoyed seeing him there because she loves Fixer Upper. But yes, so that win, I agree. I think that was the best win. On the road, at a Big 12 school that was ranked and still is ranked, and the Shockers get the job done. Okay, other side, worst loss. There's only been two.
Only two Shocker losses.
Yeah.
They were both two really good teams.
Yeah.
Notre Dame was ranked at the time. Oklahoma is ranked now, and people are predicting that their Trae Young could very well win National Player of the Year.
Really
so
good.
He's a phenomenal player, and I think the Shockers' worst loss would have to be against Oklahoma.
Okay.
Just how they played. They were losing pretty much the entire game. They were down by double digits for most of it, and they didn't look good. And losing that at home, I know it's not at Coke, but it's still in Wichita.
Yeah,
and
was.
It wasn't a pretty game.
Yeah, that's interesting because I think I would say Oklahoma too was the worst loss. Although I think Oklahoma will end up being the better opponent.
Yes, I agree with that.
I think Oklahoma was the better opponent, the tougher matchup, but the Notre Dame loss, that was just by 1 point. It was in Hawaii. It was a long way away. Third game in 3 days. So there's some excuse there, I guess. There's some reason to say, okay, I see that was a close loss. Could have gone either way. The Oklahoma game, they were just not in it from the start.
It could have been a blowout. I think they lost by 9 at the end, but it was not pretty.
Okay. So give me the overall impressions then. And we talked about this in a previous episode. Should we be panicking or are we okay with how things went?
Give your glass of water out again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is your glass half empty or is it half full? What do you have, your overall impressions of the non-conference schedule?
Overall, I'm good with it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, having all those games without Marcus McDuffie, he was able to play in the last game against Florida Gulf Coast, which the Shockers did end up winning that one, although it was a little iffy there for a while.
And they led at halftime.
Yeah, and so
that was good for the Shockers.
But yeah, overall with the injuries, Shamet returning early on from his foot injury, to be 10-2 against, I think what is the Shockers' best non-conference schedule they've had under Greg Marshall is. I think Marshall's happy with it, and if he's happy with it, I'm happy with it.
Do you remember when I said my grand prediction? That wasn't my prediction, but it was a bold thing I said. None of this matters. You
might have said that a couple times.
I've said that it doesn't matter because of the conference schedule coming up, and there's so many quality games there and quality opponents. Well, yeah, and I still stick with that. It doesn't really matter. There's not a lot the Shockers could have done. I mean, maybe if they go undefeated and looked amazing, they'd be ranked a little higher. But look at them. We're still top 10. We're still number 8 in the AP poll. So that's great, but they will be judged on what they do in this conference schedule. What they could have done in the non-conference is they could have blown it. Okay, they could have.
They could have lost to Arkansas State.
Yeah,
they could have lost to Florida Gulf Coast.
They didn't. They took care of business. So I think that's what you get out of it. You can only build your resume so much in November and December.
Yes.
But you can really hurt it in November and December. And I don't think they did hurt it.
No.
There were some halves and periods of play where I thought it was going to be hurting and it was going to be a problem, but they played themselves out of it in a good way.
Yeah.
So. There's your non-conference schedule. 10-2. We're okay with that. Shockers are set up now to go into 2018 looking pretty good.